everyone, and welcome to Whose Life Is It Anyway? A show where everything is made up, but the points actually do matter. If any of that sounds a little familiar, well, that's because yes, this is an improv comedy podcast where all the stories you're about to hear were completely made up on the spot, guided and prompted by real improv comedy games. How does it work? Well, two players are tasked with having a podcast-like interview or conversation, making it all up as they go, but there's a third guest who can interrupt at any time and give them new rules or new directions for their conversation via a list of different improv games and guidelines. How do you win? Well, if a player breaks character or simply doesn't follow the rules of the game they're in at the time, the other person is awarded a point, and at the end of a 20-minute time limit, the guest with the most points wins, and of course, becomes known to the world as a comedic genius. So, without any further ado, let's find out who's making stuff up in this episode. Ready? Are you ready?
Case.
I am a mind freak,
Love Chris Angel.
Or it can be from that Sheryl. Is it Sheryl Crow? Are you ready? This ain't no disco. It ain't no country club either.
I do know the words.
All I wanna do is have a little fun before I die.
I do love that song.
No Sheryl Crow, dude.
All I wanna do is have some fun. Is it Sheryl Crow or is it Shania Twain?
That one is Sheryl Crow.
Now I actually remember the song that you're talking about. Do you want to get the show started?
No.
Always with the no. You never want to do these. What if I ask again?
If you say please.
Hey, guys, do you want to make an improv comedy podcast with me, please?
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show. This is Whose Life Is It Anyway? And if it's not obvious by the name, this is an improv comedy podcast where everything that's about to go down is going to be made up, and we are comedy professionals, and we're going to make it all up, and it's just going to be incredible. But I couldn't do it alone, so on this episode of the show, first, sitting across the table from me, I have my friend Leah Ingram on the show. Leah, welcome. Okay, you're very strong and
Gonna hurt you.
pretty intimidated now. And luckily, the person who does not have to be beat up by Leah, sitting in the captain's chair for this episode, my friend Taylor Lumley. Taylor, welcome.
Hello.
So you will technically be in charge of this episode. And folks, viewers at home, listeners, wherever you're at, if you, for some reason, might have completely ignored that nice little intro that I put together at the beginning of this episode, where it actually explains the entire set of the rules, or if you just skip past it, that's, you skip past a lot of hard work that I put into that. I kind of cared about it. But if you did, I'll give you a little refresher and a clarification. So what's about to happen is in this episode, Leah and I will be playing against each other, but also trying to kind of work together to try and form some sort of a sensible podcast-like interview or conversation, making everything up as we go. And Taylor, being in the captain's chair in this episode, is going to be using these lovely cheat sheets of actual improv comedy games and prompts, and he's going to be interrupting us as we go, giving us these guidelines and prompts to try and continue to have our conversation and make this story up as we go. Before we jump in, Taylor, we cannot do anything until you assign us our roles. So, who's going to be the interviewer? Who is going to be the interviewee? Whose podcast is this?
All right, so in this episode, Leah is going to be the interviewer.
Okay.
Ross, you are going to be the interviewee.
Beautiful.
And if you guys are ready, do you have an idea?
I think I'm ready. I mean, it's Leah's show, so I'm just along for the ride.
Alrighty, then
Let's start that
we
clock.
are going to 3, 2, 1, and go.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to Farts and Farts Alone. So today on the podcast, we have my good friend Ross here. And Ross is a little bit of a professional when it comes to farts. And so
Change.
Ross is very new to farts. He's only farted quite little in his life. And so we want to talk about that. So Ross, how are you feeling today? Are you feeling backed up at all?
I will say I'm not feeling very gassy. I will say that. I haven't really felt flatulent my entire life.
So how many farts would you say you've had your entire life?
Well, I'm 29 years old now.
Change.
Well, I am 35 years old now.
Change.
Well, I just turned 13 yesterday. So it was an exciting birthday party, and I was kind of thinking that maybe I hit puberty late or something, because I'm pretty sure farts have something to do with puberty. So I was like, okay, maybe it's a late bloomer, what they call them. And I was at my birthday, and I was just hoping that, something would happen. But yeah, I'm 13. And I would say in my 13 years of life, according to my parents, even as a baby, they counted too, because it was so few and far between. I'm coming up on 6.
Wow.
6 farts.
6 farts in 13 years.
Yeah.
So, would you say they surprise you when they happen?
All the time. I'm just not used to it. Like, you and the rest of the world are so used to just passing gas and all that sort of stuff. And so, when it hits me, I have to say I've actually been... It's kind of hard. I've actually had a couple hospital visits.
There, and we're going to move into our first game. If you know what I mean.
You didn't hit the buzzer.
Oh, I gotta hit the buzzer for the game.
I pay $60 a month for that.
God. We're gonna move into our first game. If you know what I mean. The podcasters can only speak in innuendos and say a form of "if you know what I mean" after. And go.
So you've had very few farts in your life. Do the rumblies excite you when they're coming out, if you know what I mean?
It's not a lot of stuff that excites me coming out, but a couple things that might excite me going in, if you know what I mean.
So are you talking about when you feel the gas going into your stomach area, or are you talking about gas going up into other places, if you catch what I'm saying?
I put things in my asshole, if you know what I mean. If you want to give her a point.
I was just saying that. Okay.
I feel like Ross should get that point.
You know what?
It's host discretion. You can decide.
Judge's
who
call.
gets
Sorry, Leah. I'm gonna give that one to Ross.
It was my call. I'm apparently the one calling the shots.
It was a
who
good
are you
play.
trying to help here? You trying to help
was a
me
good
win
play.
this episode? I don't know. Okay.
All right. So
pity
with
point.
that point going to Ross, we'll go back to just normal podcast round.
So yeah, the fact that I never had a lot coming out of my butthole. I kind of just started this infatuation or infartuation, if to keep on theme with your show.
Inflatulation.
I just started sticking a lot of stuff up there.
Change.
I just started cleaning my room one day and actually fell on a toy car and it went right up there and I kind of liked it.
What was the make and model of the car?
A 97 Chevy Silverado.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Red.
Do you have a connection to this car in any way?
It is still inside me, so yes.
I'm gonna pause right there. Accents only. The podcasters must now speak with an accent. And go.
And honestly, I just kind of had an attachment to it. I fell on there, and just the fact that there's not a lot of stuff going in and out, of that rectal cavity, and the fact that I just had something in there, it kind of gave me something to hold on to,
Wow. So, I just feel like, I don't know, if that was me, I would probably feel the same way, but also, I don't really know how I would feel if I've only farted 13 times in my life, because I feel like if you're not used to air going in and out of there, how are you used to other things, going in and out of there? So is that almost like you're trying to, I don't know, make up for the absence?
I'm feeling a void. I am. My mom and I have been talking about it for a while. My whole family sat me down one time. We've been going over it. There's something missing. I don't like that I don't fart.
So you have a fart-shaped hole, that you're trying to fill with a car?
In my heart. And the car's in my ass, but the hole's in my heart. Yeah.
Change.
The car's in my ass, but the memory of what it was like that day has forever remained in my brain.
And how old were you when you fell on this car?
That day I was, I believe, 7 months old. That's when Mama said.
So let me get this straight. At 7 months old, you were walking, And also you were walking and you fell on this car.
In my playroom.
And you didn't have a diaper on? Or
No,
like,
no,
Pause right there. We're going to play number of words. I'm going to assign each of you a number of words that you can only use this number for however long we decide. Ross, I'm going to give you 3 words.
Okay.
Leah, you get 2 words.
Are we keeping accents?
Yeah, we're going to keep the accents.
Okay.
I got 3 words, right? 3?
3 words.
Okay.
3 words, sir.
Never had diaper.
Not one?
Not even 4.
That's crazy.
So I fell down.
And then,
Car went right up.
and now?
Car is still there.
Leah's going to get a point. Yours was 3 words, not 4.
Oh, did I do 4 that entire
Yeah.
time? Shit.
No, just for the... Actually, I think for the last 2, I might have missed the first one.
Damn. Okay. Wow. I didn't catch that at all.
So, Leah, you get a point. Ross, you have 1 point. It is tied currently.
I was so focused on the asshole of my child.
So, I'd like to
Figure.
keep the accents. This is fun.
All right.
But we are going to now roll switch. Leah, you've never farted a day in your life. Ross, you are the...
And we're also trading accents, that means, right?
No, keep the accents you've been doing.
Oh,
sure.
okay. So she stays
switch
like
places.
Cali girl.
Yeah.
But she has
You're a
never
Southern
farted.
man asking a young California woman why she's never farted.
A 13-year-old.
A 13-year-old.
13.
What
So,
was the name of the podcast again?
Farts and farts alone.
Farts and Farts Alone. Okay.
so here on Farts Alone, I mean, I do like to really just dive into things on a deeper level. You know, I like to really get to know my guests. And
Yeah.
I mean, so many questions, you know, it's just, so you got car in your anal cavity.
Yeah.
Change.
So you've got, not one fart has ever came out of your butthole. And then you've also got a car up there. And you're 13. That's a lot to deal with.
So my mom actually thinks that like it might be part of why I haven't farted a lot, that there's like a car up there.
I mean, that would make a lot of sense. It really would.
It would, but you know, they told me that they would have to go in and like surgically remove the car.
Change.
They told me that like they would have to shove their hand up there, and I'm just like worried about my butthole. You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be the same after that?
Right. I mean,
Am I going to be the same after that?
Right. That's a pretty traumatic event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
I
put you under for that kind of shit.
No, literally. Yeah. I mean, I just stick with the car. I understand why you have so far. I mean, yeah. That's also nice of your parents to let you come on this show and talk about this. They're sitting right over there. Mom and Dad, thank you. Cameras can't see you, but thanks. Appreciate it.
Hi, Janet.
You call your mom by her name?
Let's not get into it.
Gonna pause right there. And now we are going to do questions only. Maintaining the same rules, same accents, if you can.
So you call your mom by her name?
You don't call your mom by her name?
You don't call her mom?
Do we need to talk about this?
What's any of this have to do with the car?
What does the car got to do with farting?
Is that really why we're here?
Is the podcast not called Farts and Farts Alone?
Am I messing this up?
Am I on the right show?
Have you ever farted?
Have you ever farted?
Don't you smell it? Did I break Leah?
Oh, man.
Is this you staying in
give him a
character? Is that you staying in character, trying not to gag from my fart you smell?
I was gonna try and let you recover there, but I don't think it was gonna happen.
It was too good. It was too good. Oh my god.
Oh, that was good.
I thought I had him because I was like, soon we're going to be on a whole different show here.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I'd like to switch the roles back.
Okay.
I'm the guest. Okay.
But you can maintain the accents if you'd like. They
All right.
seem pretty great.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
I can do that. Okay.
Alrighty. Let's do it.
I mean, not farting has honestly made the relationship with my parents a little weird because they do fart. My whole family farts. I got 3 sisters and a brother. Even the dog shits around the house all the time.
Change.
I got 2 sisters, a brother, and 6 cats, and all of them are farting around me, and it pisses me off.
So, like, let's just talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have? You said
2 sisters and a brother. Yep.
and 6 cats.
6 cats. We treat them as siblings. They sit at the table with us. Yep.
Okay, and they all fart.
All of them.
Have
All of 'em fart.
have any of them ever sat on a car?
Well, they.
Change.
Do any of them have a car stuck up their asshole?
Well, no, they don't. It's kind of rude for you to even ask. I mean, you just think accidents happen around my house all the time. You think we just run around leaving our toy cars? I mean, after me, I'm the oldest child, right? I mean, so
Okay, that
they
makes
started
way
picking up.
more sense.
Started picking up after that. After one car gets stuck in a kid's ass, you're gonna make sure none of them else do.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So tell me a little bit about the very first time you farted.
Oh man, well I was about 2.5, I think, 2.5 years.
Change.
I was about 8 months when that happened. So soon after the car incident, actually. So we kind of thought, that's why we didn't go to the hospital immediately. We kind of thought everything was all right. We knew the car was up there and it was fine, not a big deal. He's still farting. What's it really going to cause? It ain't going to be a big deal. So I was about 8 months. I was running around, jumping on a trampoline. We had a trampoline out back. And I was jumping on the trampoline and I bounce up, and because kind of fun when you bounce, shakes the car around a little bit. But I remember.
Pause. We are going to switch now to alphabet.
Oh, boy.
I will give one of you a letter to start, and then we will bounce back and forth.
All right.
Ross,
Yeah.
your letter is C. Go.
Couldn't get it out with the bounces, but, after that I kind of said, I'll keep it.
Do you have normal, number 2 with this car up there?
Every once in a while, but a lot of times actually comes out kind of like Play-Doh. You put a little Play-Doh thing on there. Sometimes it'll come out in the shape of little wheels and stuff. It'll mold.
Fun to play with, but not fun to eat.
Good to have around, just in general, but I wouldn't say eat. Yeah.
Have you ever almost got the car out in those situations?
I have actually. I was about 7 years old when that happened. I was, you don't want to hear the story.
Just tell it.
Kidding me? You really want to hear the whole thing?
Let's hear it.
My. I ain't had to tell this in a while, tell you what. Wow, man, where do I start?
Oh.
That was my sentence. I'm thinking, and that was you.
No, I just want to hear the story. It feels like you're stalling, and I feel like you don't want to tell the story because it's embarrassing that you probably shoved it back up there.
Okay. You got me. I had the hood out. I had the whole front of the car out. I tried to push another fart out, and it sucked back up in.
Push another fart out?
Question me? Are you right now? Really?
Really, all I'm trying to do is just get, kind of a visual.
Seriously want to visualize a car coming out of my child asshole?
Technically, no, but more like you said the hood, okay, and then you tried to fart, but it went up, but you were pushing air out.
Underwear, had a couple pairs on, because at that point in time, I'm just worried about everything at that point in time, so I started wearing double pairs of underwear as well. Yeah,
Visually now, yeah, it's making more sense.
What'd you say?
X-rays. Have you ever had an X-ray done of this car?
Yes, I have.
0 doctors have tried to take it out?
Actually, a few of them wanted to get up in there, but by that time I was already attached to it.
But they didn't want to do it, for your well-being. Your parents didn't come in and be like, hey, you are not old enough to make these decisions for yourself.
Could have, but it just resulted in arguments.
Pause. Holy shit, we made it all the way through the entire
Did we do it?
alphabet.
Did we start
All the
with
way
C?
back to
So we
C.
each get a point.
I will gladly each give you a point for that one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Nice.
That was
Whew, that was
just,
hard.
leading up to it, I was like, are they going to do it? They're going to do it. As soon
Wow.
as you went, 0 doctors, I was like, oh my God, we're making it.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I can hear the people at home screaming now out of enjoyment.
Truly incredible work.
Absolute joy.
For someone
They've tuned
who,
out by now.
Right, they turned it off as soon as I said
Not
car in a
making
child's asshole. They turned it off. So.
Awesome. Let's jump back in.
Yeah, it's just, my family's a little dramatic sometimes. We just figured it was best just to kind of like let it go. I mean, someday I'm going to get old enough, either my body's going to morph and just pop it out, or when I'm old enough, I get to make the actual decision. Do I want to keep it up there? Do I want to get rid of it?
But you said you're kind of like emotionally attached to this thing, right?
I am.
Change.
So you really like how it feels up there, right?
I do, and I mean, to be honest with you, I know your show's about farts, but like, truthfully, I don't think I'm missing out on much.
I mean, you've only had very few, so like it's hard to say for sure.
Right.
Now, so my other question, do they...
Pause. We're going to play Whose Line? I have 2 lines for you guys.
All right.
Feel free to insert those, so to speak.
Taylor has
Wherever
dispersed
you would
the
like to.
lines. I see what you're doing. But yeah, you're about to say something.
So my other question for you,
Yeah.
did they smell? All 6 of these farts that you experienced so far.
The first couple of them did, but I think what happened is once the gases started passing through the actual toy car itself, it's got batteries and stuff in it, and I think the gases actually started fusing with the batteries, and they've been smelling real weird when they come out. There's a couple of them that's just been out of this world.
You know what they tell you though, like when you're a kid and like they say batteries aren't included like on the box and everything.
Oh yeah.
And so like along with that message, usually on like they say like batteries not included, all parts sold separately, and where did you put the urn?
That's pretty convenient. That's actually odd you asked that, because my family actually lost my aunt's urn. Actually, it's crazy that you brought that up.
Did she fart?
No, she did die in a car crash, which I think is maybe a part of why I'm so attached to this car. But I remember the day that she left. It was a snowy night. It was around Christmas, and I was just a baby because this happened real early in my life. But I remember a lot when I was a child, when I was just real young. And my aunt, she left that snowy night, and when she walked out the door, she looked at me as a little babe. She just looked at me in the eye and she said, "Pull my finger." And I remember, I'm going to get teary-eyed here, I'm sorry. I remember the sound of her fart that it made when I pulled her finger. And it's just, there's a lot, to go on with fart, and I ain't been able to do it, and she died in the car, and there's a lot I'm holding on to. I'm sorry to getting emotional on your show.
Wow, we're like getting really deep into this. Like I feel like it's like all starting to kind of come together for me here, if I'm being honest. And I was really close with an aunt growing up as well, and
like a whole farm of them, or
yeah,
like a family
no,
member?
like I had one favorite aunt.
Okay.
I had an ant farm, and my favorite aunt was it wasn't even the queen. It was actually one of the worker ants. I used to like kind of lose track of him a lot because they all sort of kind of look the same.
They do.
But you know what? Every time I thought I lost him or like I thought I would never find him again, I used to just tell myself, I'm currently clenching a cat toy in my butt cheeks.
Wait a second. Hold on. You just interrupted yourself with that. Hold on. Is that something you told yourself, or are you clenching one right now?
No, that's like what I would tell myself.
Oh, God. I thought we had a lot in common for a second.
So like, okay.
I thought I finally found someone else like me that would clench something in their butthole.
No, like I'm not a freak. I just like.
Whoa, what?
So
Hey, Mama, calm down. She didn't mean it. It's fine.
So like, back when I had ants, I also had a cat, and you know what?
Change.
Back when I had my favorite aunt, I used to buy cat toys for them, and it really confused me that like they were never really interested in them. Right. So I always thought, well, I've got to do something with this cat toy, and so like what better
It's wild you
place
bring
to put
up.
it.
I mean, I got 6 cats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure, didn't want any other trouble in our family. You know what I mean? We got the farts, we got the kids, we got Aunt Marie dying in a car. And we didn't want any more trouble. So when we started getting these cats, we wanted them to have super specific collars on. You know what I mean? So we actually put this little diamond engraved saying on all their collars. So if they ever got out, people knew where to send them back to. Can I tell you what it says?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Every one of my cats got this right on their collar. It just says, pee is stored in the balls. And that's, it's just something, it's a little thing that our family likes to talk about. So we put it on our cats.
So you guys are really personal with each other.
Pause. Okay, I'm going to use the host power here. I'm going to do the podcast producer. I'm just going to make a slight change.
Okay.
Ross, now instead of your character having never farted before, you will now be farting uncontrollably for the rest of the interview.
Okay, does that include sound effects?
Yeah, let's do that. And also, I'm going to stack on top of this, yes and.
Who picks it up?
Am I still interviewing him?
Mm-hmm. Everything's still the same, just now he's farting uncontrollably. Can't stop.
Are you farting right now?
Thank you for having me on. I really do. I just it's kind of hard for me to control him with the car up there. Remember when I said it was? I'm sorry. Remember when I said it was a battery powered RC car? Well, we don't know where the controller is and haven't known. So hold on. The tires just keep spinning, and so it kind of pushes my gas out a lot quicker than normal.
Yes, and I understand that. But it's a little distracting.
I'm sorry. I mean, you reached out to me in email. I told you all this. You said, I got this podcast that's all about farts. I said, I got plenty of them, dear, but do you want me? And,
Yes, and
sorry. Sometimes it gets real big.
Yes, and I did say that, that I would be happy to have you as a guest on this fart podcast because, obviously it's a fart podcast, and so we welcome farts,
Right. Yeah, sorry. I didn't hear a lot of what you said. It's kind of loud on my end of the table. Anyway, what was the next question?
Yes, and so my next question.
Hold on. I lost all of that. We were playing
I was waiting for him.
Neither of us did that.
I was waiting for him, but he was making fart noises and not paying attention.
I was.
Neither of us played yes and until she just did it. And I'm like, wait.
I've been doing it pretty much the whole time.
Were you really?
Well, the first thing I said.
She was saying yes and to sing.
Oh, I didn't
I caught it almost every
I
single
didn't.
time.
I was too
focused
on
I think that's a point for Leah.
making it look like my farts were coming out. I completely blanked on the fact that we were playing yes and. I was focused on farts and.
That's why I kept going yes and. But eventually,
I didn't even notice you were doing that. Not once. I
think we're at a tie right now. I think we're gonna finish this out with one more round of number of words.
All right.
Okay.
Leah, you'll have 4.
4.
Ross, you will have 2.
Can do. Now who's flexing?
All right. So let's get into it. Oh, well, fuck.
No, that's 4. That's 4. Into is 1. I would count that as 1 word.
Okay.
My butthole?
More about the car.
What about?
What color is it?
Red, remember?
You didn't say that.
I did.
I really don't remember.
It's fine. Excuse me.
Are you still farting?
A little bit.
That's great. We like it. Oh. Oh, no.
And with that,
is that time?
we've come to an end. That's
the end
time.
of the game? Hold on. One more in-character big fart while I look at the camera.
Wow.
And
Oh my gosh.
with that final tiebreaker,
And with
our
cars
winner
in my butthole.
is Ross Tyson, everybody.
Oh
Ross
my
the
gosh.
finish line.
Incredible. Oh man.
And so did the car.
And so did
Honestly,
the car.
though-
I think I'm stuck talking like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't really stop.
Shout out
This
to
is
Leah,
who I
though.
am now.
That is an incredible setup. That is you carried the entire thing off of a setup of farts and farts
Yeah, that
alone.
was incredible.
And- oh,
That was
man.
so good.
That's the greatest.
Oh.
You deserve to be the
My-
close runner up on that one.
My face hurts. My
Oh.
face actually hurts, and also my
Incredible.
butthole, because when you were making those fart sounds, I was like trying to really, like, actually clench so the camera could pick up
Yeah,
that I'm really
character actor
trying.
over here, guys.
I'm a method actor, so
Yeah.
like
Oh my
butthole
God.
actually hurts on this side of the table. So
Wow.
what a podcast! Farts and
Fantastic.
farts only.
No, farts and farts alone.
Yeah.
Farts and farts alone.
Crown,
Farts alone.
crowning moment though is definitely
Well, easy with that
Yeah.
verbiage.
Can you smell it?
That was,
Okay, you
Or
smell
don't
it?
you smell it? Or whatever.
I
it
love-
was.
you like
It was a life
laughed
changer.
hard.
It was a life
I-
changer.
That was incredible.
It was definitely that was
A
Took
plus,
the wind
yeah.
right out of you.
Butthole?
One
Yeah.
could say.
You said it's butthole? Butthole.
tight butthole.
Tight
That was
butthole.
that
Tight
episode
butthole.
was pretty tight butthole. That was pretty good. One more time for the folks at home. Who won? Oh, tight butthole.
Ross, your winner.
I won. I won.
Farts and farts alone.
Farts and farts alone. If I keep winning these shows, people are going to think I've rigged this in my favor, to be honest.
He did not rig this.
Totally
In
not.
his favor.
Stressing, not rigged.
Not rigged in Ross's favor as the creator of this show at all.
Who are you going to believe, the guest or the guy that can fart like this on command?
Oh yeah.
That last one's an inside joke. That one's just, but I did do that. Okay, guys, we did it. That's another episode. Thank you guys so much for making a bunch of stuff up with me and talking about farts for this entire time. Do you want anyone to find you on the internet, Leah?
Farts and Farts Alone Pod. Find us.
I'm making that channel now. And I'm uploading this. No context, no tags with whose life. I'm just uploading this audio
this.
to that Farts and Farts Alone. It's going to exist on the podcast.
Absolutely.
In the podcast universe. Taylor, do you want anyone to find you on the internet? If so, where?
You can find me at. It's right here.
Is that lowercase b's or upper?
Bees.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. And I think to say goodbye to the folks officially, I know you guys were saying, hey, you need a better way to wrap up the show. We had a couple ideas thrown around, but I remember we all settled on that one like slogan that you felt like really worked. So I think to say goodbye, we all say that slogan all at the same time, right? So here we go on 3. I ran over a child on my way here.
Here.
Home?
Here. Leah will soon run over a child. She has seen the future.
Good night, America.
Thanks for listening and looking.